Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Bracha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of John, the 21st chapter. After these things, Yahushai shewed himself again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. And on this wise shewed he himself. So this was the account of it. There were together Simon Peter and Thomas called Didymus, and Nathanael of Cana in Galilee, and the sons of Zebedee, that's John and James, and two other of his disciples. Simon Peter saith unto them, I go a-fishing. That is, he's going to go fishing. They say unto him, we also go with thee, so we'll go with you. They went forth and entered into a ship immediately, and that night they caught nothing. But when the morning was now come, Yahushai stood on the shore, but the disciples knew not that it was Yahushai. Then Yahushai saith unto them, Children, have ye any meat? They answered him, No. And he said unto them, Cast the net on the right side of the ship, and ye shall find. They cast therefore, and remember, this is something similar to what he did when he first met them, right? He told them, look, cast your net over here. And then they caught so much fish that the net break. Then he says, I'm going to make you fishers of men. They cast therefore, and now they were not able to draw it for the multitude of fishes. So they cast and they caught so much they couldn't even pull in the net. Therefore that disciple whom Yahushua loved saith unto Peter, It is the Lord. That's him. That's him. He instantly recognized. Now when Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord, he girt his fisher's coat onto him, for he was naked. Now it doesn't mean he was naked as in he was completely exposed, but what it means is that he likely just had like his undergarment or undergarments or on, since he was fishing, right? So if he had to go into the water or anything of that sort, he would be able to do so easily. But he had some article of clothing on. But here he threw that coat on him and did cast himself into the sea. He dived into that sea and he just immediately swam over there. And the other disciples came in a little ship, for they were not far from the land, but as it were 200 cubits, dragging the net with fishes. As soon as they were come to land, they saw a fire of coals there, and fish laid thereon, and bread. Yahushua saith unto them, Bring of the fish which ye have now caught. Simon Peter went up and drew the net to the land, and them nets are heavy. They're not some small, tiny little. No. Those nets are heavy. As it says here, and drew the net to the land full of great fishes, 153 fishes. And for all there were so many, yet was not the net broken. So that's like usually, because remember the first time they did that, the net broke. It tore because it was so much. Yahushua saith unto them, Come and dine. Come, let's eat. And none of the disciples durst ask him, Who art thou? Knowing that it was the Lord. So maybe he didn't look exactly like he did before, but they knew in the spirit that that's such a weird feeling, man. Like you can see him, he may not look exactly like he did before, but you can tell that it's him, but you don't want to ask to confirm. Yahushua then cometh and taketh bread and giveth them, and fish likewise. Now this is now the third time that Yahushua shewed himself to his disciples after that he was risen from the dead. So when they had dined, Yahushua saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? So do you love me more than these fish? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. He saith unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him the third time, Lovest thou me? Now, when you actually look into the word grieved, it may sound like he was annoyed, but rather most of the definitions here are more so sorrowful. Okay, as you can see here, it says to make sorrowful, to affect with sadness, cause grief, to throw into sorrow, to grieve, offend, to make one uneasy, right? To be sad, to cause to be in heaviness. Now, when you think about it, you wonder, well, why would asking you that question 3 times make you feel sad or make you feel that heaviness or sorrow? You know, and one thing that I thought about was it's interesting how Peter denied the Lord 3 times, right? As the Lord told him that he would do. And when the cock crew, Peter went and wept. And that might have been something that stayed on his mind. Okay, and so who knows, you know, by the Lord asking him this 3 times, it might have, you know, reminded him of that, right? Or you know, triggered some feeling of that sort to where he felt that grief. But as he says, he answered him, and he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua saith unto him, Feed my sheep. So Peter, we know, was the head, right, of the church, and he was entrusted, right, with that responsibility. And what we can take from this is the emphasis on what Yahushua told Peter, which is very, very important to him. As Yahushua did everything his father told him to do, what he sent us to do was to feed his sheep. Okay, and that's what we ought to do. And that's what we're doing now. And that's what we're going to continue to do, Lord willing, until the Lord comes back, right? Until he says, okay, time to move on to the next phase. Verse 18, verily, verily, I say unto thee, and now he's verse 18, he goes into, he really foreshadows or prophesies concerning Peter's death. And John himself is even going to tell you, verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself and walkest whither thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thine hands, and another shall gird thee and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. So I'll read this first in the NLT and then we'll break it down. I tell you the truth, when you were young, you were able to do as you liked. You dressed yourself and went wherever you wanted to go. But when you are old, that's representing at the time when you are about to die, you will stretch out your hands, and that's going into because Peter's death was going to be crucifixion, right? And so he would, just like when you're on the cross, you would actually have like if you look up here, crucifixion. You see here how they have, since it's like a cross, they usually have the arms stretched out, okay, and then nailed or bound to the cross. So as the Lord said here, you're going to have, right, yeah, you will stretch out your hands and others will dress you and take you where you don't want to go, meaning like it's to your death, right? And whether it's against your will, nobody really wants to go to their death, but he's signifying here being led to your death, right? Like you're going to go and they're going to basically put you on that cross and they're going to crucify you, right? But in other words, what he was telling Peter was when it says that when thou shalt be old, it means at the time of your death. Okay, this is how it's going to play out for you. And Peter understood that, right? This is Old English, but Peter understood that. John understood that. Verse 19, this spake he, signifying what death he should glorify God. That is how Peter would die. And when he had spoken this, he saith unto him, Follow me. Then Peter, turning about, seeth the disciple whom Yahushua loved, following, which also leaned on his breast at supper, and said, Lord, which is he that betrayeth thee? So he's referring to John. Peter saith Peter, seeing him, saith to Yahushua, Lord, and what shall this man do? So you told me about me, but what's going to happen to him? Yahushua saith unto him, if I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. So he said, you follow me. Don't worry about him. If I want him to stay alive till I come back, that's nothing to do with you. Then went this saying abroad. So now there was this rumor or this saying among the brethren that disciple should not die. And this verse is also a dead giveaway that the author of this book is John himself, the disciple here that he's talking about. Yet, so he he makes he makes it a point to clarify. Yet Yahushua said not unto him, he shall not die, but if I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? This sounds like somebody, like, something is said, somebody rephrases it, takes it out of context, and now you have to clarify, right? That's what John is saying here. He's saying after Yahushua said this, they took it and ran with it and went around saying that John is not going to die, right? Yahushua basically Yahushua said he's not going to die. And he's like, no, that's not what he said. What he said was, if he wants that John tarries till he comes back, what does that have to do with you? This is the disciple which testifieth of these things, i.e. the things we just read in the book of John, and wrote these things, and we know that his testimony is true. And there are also many other things which Yahushua did. So he's basically now letting you know this disciple that he's been talking about is himself, the author of the book of John, and his testimony is true. He's not lying. And there are also many other things which Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen. And that, well, what that means is basically it's self-explanatory, right? Like Yahushua did so many things that if you try to record it all, you wouldn't have enough books in the world to record it all in there. And that brings us to the end of the book of John, and the end of the book of John, the 21st chapter, and the end of the entirety of the book of John. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.